Salutations, my wonderful people, and welcome to another episode of Unsolved. With me, I'm Godpool, in case anybody forgot. And with me, as always, are my wonderful, wonderful players. Michael, who plays Gene Franklin, the Angry Man.
Who?
He's mellowed out a little bit in the last episodes, you know, after he got scared of mirrors. Leslie, our local scar victim, I guess, played by Brianna.
I am not Godpool.
Yes, I got confused. I was like, "You're not Brianna. Who are you then?"
No.
What? But no, yes, you are not Godpool. I'm slow today. The engine has not been revved up enough. So then we have our homicide detective Lisa, played by Zia.
Hello.
Lisa's been getting questioning her sanity. Last episode, she had a lot of fun times there, being in the abyss. And then we have the victim, Richard Barton, played by Kellen, who was the first one to take the total of 10 sandy damage within a very short period of time. But I think everyone will agree that it comes to no surprise with the rolls that he has gotten during his sandy things.
At the end of this, you're going to be a murder hobo.
I'm not crazy. The world's crazy.
So he's going to be a murder hobo, so he's going to be a character in a D&D campaign. We're halfway there already. So, do you have any skills that you need to increase, guys?
Probably not.
I don't think so.
Nope.
Oh, did I get persuaded?
None here.
I did get persuade.
I don't remember a lot of crits last time, so.
I don't remember who it was.
So let's see if you get that persuade up, if you got persuade. I'm guessing you're getting your persuade up.
Wait, we're scrolling down. Hold on. Yeah, definitely getting that. Because I had a 60. So it's a D10, right?
Yeah.
9.
Oh, God, yes. Pretty good. A pretty good roll. 90 and a 9.
What do you persuade with? 69?
Yes.
It's terrible.
She now has a lame sex joke for a persuasion skill.
I'm gonna persuade.
Yeah.
Problem is that my character's gay. Very closeted because of the time, but...
Yeah, I mean, 69 doesn't discriminate.
Oh, no, absolutely
It's a
not.
number.
It is all encompassing.
Nobody else had any skill increases that they had to do? I'm gonna check for Lisa, because Lisa forgets to check her thing from time to time.
Come when you tell me to.
Just making sure. I trust you totally. Now, Now I'm just gonna check.
I don't blame you.
What's this? I had a check mark and everything last time.
Oh dang!
That's the opposite of what would happen to me.
That's the opposite of what would happen to. That's the opposite of what would happen to Richard. That's one lie we won't believe. So guys, to kind of recap what happened last time, Richard, Lisa, and Jensen kind of went insane, but Richard went more insane than everyone else. Jensen rocked it somehow. He took the total of 2 sandy damage after doing 2 checks. He rolled really good. He even failed one of them, so it's even funnier. And they went, Richard, Lisa, and Jensen, they went into the short apartment, and they lost time there.
Hey, Godpool, 1 second. Do you have what my sanity is supposed to be? Because I think it reset.
Let's see.
It says I have 54. I thought I was more like 37.
It is 37. It's just really wonky reading it. The number above the check mark is the one you go with. So you're supposed to be at 37. Yeah.
Oh.
It's really weird to read it. It's weird. But yes, you should be at 37.
Thank you. Sorry.
It is totally fine. And Jean and Leslie, they went and had a fun discussion with the secretary of Herald Express, the right-hand woman of William Randolph Hearst, the CEO of Herald Express. And they just left after they were trying to get a warrant sent their way, which they're still gonna need to wait for because it takes time. And we're gonna come back to Jean and Leslie as they are walking out of the Herald Express. So how do you? What's your plan now, guys? You finished up the Herald Express for now, at least, until you get the warrant. But you do remember. I don't think you already left but you weren't prohibited from looking into her office. You were allowed to look over Underwood's office, because that's connected to a crime, but if I remember correctly, that was, they weren't hindering you in any way. They just weren't giving you the information you wanted when you were talking.
Right. I'm gonna let Jean lead because I'm still a bit flustered. I have not had the best of days.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been sort of shit for both of us. So you want to check out the Wednesday apartment or office?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we'll go dig through her office and see what we find or don't, and then blame Quarles for it.
So you're gonna spend basically a good time looking around in the office, right? So with a thorough investigation of the office, which takes about an hour, basically what you find is a lot of information, a lot of our old articles, stuff that she was obviously using for the short case. Nothing that you as police officers don't, as FBI officers and like leading the case wouldn't know. It's just something that you would usually be trying to hide away from the press while shit's deep. And she's obviously has some of the stuff that you've been digging up, written up for her, like for her article, but it's like half finished, and you just see a lot of her notes on the case and stuff, and a lot of notes on other irrelevant cases, basically, and other articles that she's working on.
Are there any, like, conspicuously empty folders among the paperwork? Like, you know, a folder that's labeled short pictures that's empty? You know, that sort of thing?
No, none of the folders feel like there's anything less in than them should. Mainly because you don't have a good idea of how much was in them to begin with.
I was looking for any notes that might point to other information that she would have, like, that she would have in her possession, notes that are referring to that information, but the information is not there.
Roll for me just a spot hidden, whether or not
Library
you know.
use.
Oh yeah, library use. Use library use. That's a much better roll.
I'll take it.
So
Is that a hard success?
Yeah.
you do not know. Like one thing you do not notice is any loose ends. So if something was taken from here, like information and evidence and stuff like that, none of it is obvious. You do, however, notice that at one point, there's a reference to a picture that is missing from the file.
Okay, what does it say about this picture?
It just references it and says as you can see on this picture number this, because they're all numbered on the behind, and as you can see on this picture here, the body was left in a rough shape. There's whether or not you got a picture of like a close-up picture of the body or not, you don't know. But she's referencing the body of Short on it.
Are those pictures numbered on the back or on the front?
On the back.
Okay. And otherwise, we have the pile of pictures that were her originals?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I would like to roll, I guess it would be a psychology. I want to look around the room and think, where would she hide something if she was afraid of, like, it being found or stolen?
Okay.
Ouch!
You just barely failed that, didn't you?
Yeah, just barely.
Her
so I found them.
her office looks like it's kind of lacking in personal effects. It has like a picture frame or stuff like that, but you can't really get a read on how she thinks in this room. And you've only talked to her once before she died, so you don't manage to kind of figure her out. And you basically just don't know where she would hide anything in this room, if she would hide something. But during your hour of searching, you didn't find anything.
All right.
I feel like I asked this before, but I don't remember if we ever got an answer. Does she have like a contact book or like a contact book that has the list of all of her contacts and their phone numbers?
You haven't asked that question before, but you have not found any contact book.
Okay, I don't find a contact book.
Yeah.
No Rolodex? No.
You probably think that she has one, though.
Of course.
It wouldn't. It would be highly strange of her not to have at least one book with some of her contacts written in it.
Was one found in her apartment?
No. She either. You would guess that she either kept it on her person, or she kept it in the office, and you haven't found it in the office. And the body that you found her body didn't have any objects with it, at least.
Okay.
But yeah, you don't know if she's hiding anything in this place, but you kind of don't know where she would hide anything, Leslie.
All right. When I'm looking around, is there anything like not work related dominantly present, like any family photos or
No, it lacks. The room lacks like a personal touch, really. There is like a picture frame on her desk, and not much more than that.
What's in the picture frame?
It is a picture. Seems to be a picture from her childhood. Her and her family.
How long has she been a reporter?
Oh, she's been a reporter for a very long time now. I think she's been a reporter for since 1926. So she's been like active for like 20 something years. 21 years as a reporter.
So
Does she have other storage in the building other than her office space?
Not that you know of. And not that you've been told of.
I go find someone and ask.
The short answer is basically no.
Okay.
They have
Slightly longer answer?
there is an archive room where they archive some of the stories they do, basically their paper, and like some of like the writing material ends up there, but
there's no additional storage that they have access to.
no.
Okay.
all right, I'm gonna go and assume that she's not the only reporter that works there.
No.
I mean, that would make no sense. Are there any other reporters in? Have we seen anybody?
There were a few around, but not a lot. There's a lot of stuff happening in LA this week, so there's a lot of work to be done. And a lot
That's
of the
what I assume.
and like the three or so reporters that are there, they're like going hard on their typewriters.
I'm sure they are. So to me, there were very few personal effects in her apartment either, right?
Yeah.
It was just sort of the TV, the bathtub and the couch and whatnot.
I mean, it had like furniture and stuff, but it didn't really have any personality behind it.
Right, and there's nothing really here. So I would assume that her work is her life. That means the people who know her best are probably her coworkers. So I would like to interview a couple of them, talk to anybody who's willing to give me the time about if she'd been acting odd recently, or if they had given her, or if she had said anything that they thought was odd, mentioned anyone new in her life.
So, all right. So so you ask around, like, those 3 reporters that are like in the that are in office right now, and not a lot of them want like seem to have time for you. Basically, there's you get the feeling because of everything happening, they kind of want to stay on top of things. But you do learn, though, talking to them, that she tended to, like, she always wanted to do, like, the big cases, murder cases and stuff, wanted to do articles on the big murder cases. And she's been very active in like trying to report on those crimes. She has and a lot of her work reflects on that.
Right.
She tended to keep most of her relationship with the other people in the office professional. She's done like stuff that she's done ranges all from like the from murder to rape. So she's written about a lot of things. But
Okay.
she did work for a while during her she works time to time with a man named with a photographer called Perry Fowler. They're kind of unofficially a team.
What was that name?
Perry Fowler, but he hasn't been in. He's on vacation right now.
Can I get contact information for him, though?
Yes, you can. They give you basically
Is that a T or a P?
P.
It's both, like pterodactyl.
Oh, I thought it was Harry.
Perry
I heard
Fowler.
Perry.
Uh,
It's Terry.
It's Harry.
It's not
So
Terry.
it's
So they-
P-E-R-R-Y.
They give you basically contact information, but they also tell you the last they heard he was like out of state.
All right, I definitely call the phone number anyway from one of the phones.
They gave you the like home number, so like you call and nobody picks up.
All right, it was worth a shot though.
What's the timing on the vacation? Was it like he just left on vacation? Did it coincide with the murder?
He left like in the first week of January.
I don't even remember where we are.
How
anymore
much are
in
they
time.
paying this photographer that he can take that long a vacation?
Is that photographer with a P or a T?
Hey, maybe he's been saving, or maybe he's visiting family out of town.
I just lost all the pictures.
Sure. You didn't lose them, they just went under the deck.
Maybe he didn't take any vacation for a very long time and decided to take a long one now.
Do they-
So his vacation rolls over.
Do they
That's
let
nice
you
to
do
know.
But no,
Suspicious.
these people
December cutoff.
don't know why he left. They just know that he's on vacation for some reason. And he left like at least 2 weeks before the murder like happened, so he hasn't been in town since. So
All right, so he's definitely the murderer.
murder found.
Maybe he arranged the murders in some sort of elaborate way to kill off Agatha without any suspicion.
Wow. That's a very roundabout way of doing it. Let's kill this Elizabeth Short woman who nobody knows, and then use the distraction from that to kill Agnes Underwood. That's totally the greatest plan ever. Nobody's gonna suspect it at all. And I won't even be in town to do it, so nobody can blame me.
Very tricksy, that one.
Yeah.
Bad idea until you said that, and then it sounded good.
We'll find out there was this elaborate trap in the boiler room, and a missed call that sent her down there, and it like caught her neck her ankle in a noose with a hanging machete to behead her, and with a timer to set everything on fire.
Just he
Perfect.
he took a year.
Hired someone to do it. He hired someone to do it. It's just they were very creative. Hired an artist.
Just hired an artist to just make all of this stuff and took like a year in planning it. This guy needs a hobby. Or at least a new hobby now.
No, you've got it backwards. The photography is the hobby. Planning Rube Goldberg
Remember
level
that.
murder is his job.
That Mass
Is there
Effect
a
commercial
commercial
from a while ago. I don't remember if it was for 2 or 3, but it had Thane in it, and he said something like, "Murder is an art," and or "I am the master." That's what I got going in my head.
This is
God.
some Moriarty level shit.
God fucking damn it, this is starting to sound so messed up.
Starting to?
Well, you know, it was messed up, but like we started today, and we're already in like conspiracy theory territory here.
Already? I'm always in conspiracy theory.
Well, I guess I'm just wrong today. God dang it. This was pretty...
So
But,
does the warrant eventually show up?
does who?
The warrant
The warrant.
to just like search everything,
All
Um,
the things.
all of the thing. Like, I'm sure if we tried to go into Hearst's office, the secretary wouldn't let us.
Yeah, she wasn't
Like,
too keen because she wasn't too keen on having you go into her office.
Yeah.
But I think it takes it's a Sunday, so it's probably gonna take more than an hour for the warrant to show up. Because they need to ask for the warrant from the mayor, from the mayor, who will talk to a judge, who'll get the warrant to you.
All right. Well, how long were we investigating in Underwood's office?
With like the office and talking to everyone, like 1.5 hours.
All right.
'Cause,
So the warrant should be there.
Yeah,
Probably.
it's probably gonna arrive in due time. Like, it's not long now. And
All right. You got any last minute things you want to do before the warrant shows up?
No.
so as you kind of case the joint for a while, basically an officer arrives with your warrant finally, and you kind of case the place for like 20 to 30 minutes, kind of like killing time. And when you get the warrant, the officer just hands it to you, and kind of nods to you and just leaves. Yeah, he's just a messenger boy. So, and now you have your warrant,
Great.
and now you can look over. Now you can check out the place.
So I hand the warrant to Gene so he can deal with the secretary.
I hand it back and go, nah, you got this.
So I
Yes.
take the warrant to the secretary and
You-
hand it to her.
You sense that Jean doesn't want to talk to this person. So yeah,
It takes all my willpower to stop myself from asking if he's got a crush on her.
so yeah, you go to her and show her the warrant, and she kind of begrudgingly allows you into her office. She's just like, fine. Snoop around.
So, I suggest to Gene that he go and look in Hurst's office, and that I'll search the secretary's office.
Just let me know if you see anything that doesn't look right. I'll give it a once over.
Like a mirror.
No.
And
That
no!
that won't look right to me.
You walk into the office and it's just mirrors everywhere. No, I'm joking. I'm not gonna give you a heart attack.
Some people are that vain.
But you do when you walk into his office, however, Jean, you kind of need to walk through her office, like the tiny office space that she has in between, and his office is pretty big, but it's not like it's not like the mayor's office big, as you may remember, but it's pretty big for an office.
Sure.
And it's clean, but it doesn't look like anybody's been here for quite a long time. Like, it's obviously being kept in good condition, but you can kind of tell by the room that nothing's been moved in here for quite a while.
Is there a bar in the office?
Well, of course there is. There's a C.
Shot of whiskey. Shot of scotch.
He owns the place. Of course he's gonna have a fucking bar there. And the bar has mirrors everywhere. No, I'm joking.
Fuck. Never mind.
No, I'm joking. No. It's not. It's not covered in mirrors. No. There is, however, one of those silver plates that is like you could see your reflection in.
Eh.
It makes
I
you
don't
feel.
think I actually got. I don't think I actually pulled a phobia out of that one. Okay, I do have mental disorder. I hate mirrors.
Yeah,
couldn't remember
I
if
would.
that one was
I would
bad enough.
say that I'd say that you'd feel really uncomfortable looking at it, but not. It's not like the same as looking into a mirror.
Hmm.
Because this is not
So-
a clear image. This is kind of like the blurry like image you see when you look into like a steel like plate, a silver plate. But the mirrors are scary because you see things in the mirrors that aren't supposed to be there.
So what to?
So you pour yourself
How
a
can-
scotch and you kind of look over the room, and
How could the box? Let's start there. We know that one.
mm,
Do I find the real books in here, or do I find the fake ones?
so you're looking for what books again? Repeat it because you cut out there.
No, it was a joke. The books, all the financial records.
Yeah. Yes.
Do I find the real ones or the bullshit ones?
The bullshit ones. Can't see
I'm even
any.
gonna make him roll forgery for that.
Do I recognize that they're the bullshit ones? I do. Good.
Yes. Yes, you do. So Leslie, you walk in. So you're in her office right now, and you see the name. You see the nameplate on her desk, which it's kind of strikes you that you never actually asked her name, and her name is Sarah Lindell.
Is that ringing any bells for me?
No,
What was the name? Sorry, you cut out at the end of that.
Sarah Lindell. I'll write it for you guys.
So definitely the first thing I would do would be to get her out from behind her desk and just systematically go through everything in her desk.
She was standing out, like
I
when
would
you
kick her out of
when
the
you
office.
when you arrived with the warrant. She just kind of she told you to snoop around, and she was kind of in the door because she didn't want you guys in there. So basically, every time you walked there, she kind of walked to kind of block that you would go in. But when you arrived with the warrant and showed her, and she just left the office because she figured you were gonna ask her to leave anyways. So
Oh,
she's
did she leave the building or did she just leave the room?
just the room. She's
Okay.
just outside. There is like a glass. There's not a wall between like her office and everyone else. There's like a glass, like a window, like a window wall, and but it has like what are those covers that the roll up covers that kind of block the window. You can just roll them up.
Okay.
I don't rem the shades. But yeah, she could easily like block out if she wanted to, if they wanted privacy. But yeah, you
Now
can
you're
see.
just making it sound like traditional stereotypes of men and their secretaries.
That was not the point.
Gosh.
But I realized it after you after you said that. Then I was like, yeah, well, whoops. That was
So,
literally
yeah,
that was not in my head. Now it's in my head.
It might
Um,
not be the secretary. What about Williams?
Oh,
Or not Williams, Underwood.
yeah.
Yeah, could be.
But yes, so you're gonna look through her.
This is Patty Hearst's grandfather, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, historically, I meant.
Yes.
Because I was trying to piece that together last time. But yeah, I'm going systematically going through everything on her desk first.
So the first thing you find, like when you open up one of her drawers, is like you kind of go in front where where she sits, and you just kind of sit down and open the drawer to your left, and just on the top there's a revolver.
All right. I assume that I would know what kind of revolver it was, or do you want me to roll for that?
You would know.
Okay. So, I use my handkerchief or whatever, pick the revolver up and, like, look to see if, like, is it too soon for serial numbers?
I think serial numbers were on them.
Alright, I would check to see if the serial number had been scratched off.
It is legal.
Okay.
It's legal.
So I would set that aside for forensics to take a look at. I would, like, bag it or whatnot.
You can also check if it's been used recently. You can kind of see if any bullets are missing.
All right.
68. Serial numbers weren't put on guns till 68.
So,
yeah, okay. So
that's after our time.
Yeah.
So yes, then I would check to see if it's I because I was in the military, I would make sure that if I put it down, it's not going to fire. So I assume part of that would be to check. I know nothing about guns. How many rounds? Is it rounds?
They're just bullets in it. This is a Smith & Wesson Model 27, and it is a 6-round cylinder, so it has 6 bullets, and it's fully loaded.
All right. Using not psychology, using my brain, would this be like so I pulled up a picture on Google. It looks like a smaller-ish handgun.
That fires 357, so it's got some stopping power.
Yeah.
So would I know if this was like a lady's handgun or one that ladies would use? Or is this probably your boss's?
You would not say that this is a lady's handgun. It's it's not small. I don't have a good image of how big it is. Let's see, but you wouldn't say that it's a small gun. It's just a lady's gun. You think it's just like a. It's not one you'd normally see a woman walking around with in her purse at this time. All
right, fair enough. I look it over. Does it look like it's been like kept well oiled and well taken care of?
It looks like it's in good enough condition, basically.
By that, do you mean like it's in good enough that if you had to shoot it, you could, or as in?
It's like it's being maintained, but not like on a very regular basis.
All right. I also sniff it to smell if there's been like I don't know what is it? Because gunpowder smells different after it's gone off, right? You can't. I know.
Bad.
I know nothing about guns.
With your with your knowledge of guns, basically, it's enough to tell you that it hasn't been fired anytime recently.
Okie dokie. So I do set that aside and I continue looking.
But you would also, You can kind of gather that although it's not very common for like a woman to have this kind of gun. You may think it doesn't surprise you since she is the secretary of a pretty big individual. So it may just be there for like safety.
You make that sound like he forces himself upon her.
No, I'm actually thinking more like there's been issues with like angry people coming in who want to have a word.
Yeah, it's basically, you think it's for those kind of situations, basically. Those,
Alright.
But the angry people don't want words; they want to spread the holy word of their bullets.
All right, so I just set it aside. I continue searching.
Yeah. So you're gonna continue searching the. You continue to search the office, and you don't find anything that would be too connected to the case itself. There's a lot of the stuff there is written down appointments for Mr. Hurst, or in the case while he's away, her to attend for, or in his case, in his absence, and a lot of stuff that just is associated with running a business, basically. She seems to be doing a lot of the heavy lifting currently.
All right. I'm going to double check to make sure there's no false bottoms
Okay.
in any of the drawers.
So roll for me
Or
a.
false tops.
So roll for me a spot hidden.
Oh no.
Oh!
Yay!
You make it! So you're searching in the
Broken
desk,
pocket
right?
twice a day.
You're searching in the desk, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna check everything that there is, like any filing cabinets in the desks,
Okay.
just anywhere, because I'm really convinced that she's concealing shit.
But yes, you're searching the desk in particular, though, right?
Okay, at this time I'm searching the desk in
Yeah.
particular.
Okay. I just wanted to be sure what you were looking at. You find no hidden compartments in the desk.
Alright.
And while you are looking around in the secretary's office, Gene, what do you want to do in there?
First thing I'm gonna check is the president's appointment book on the desk somewhere, in the desk immediately obvious.
You just walked up to his desk and you kind of glance into the drawers, and you find it doesn't take you long to find like a one of those calendar books that you can write down appointments and stuff like that, and the appointments start to kind of dry out after he got start to become more sick. So
What time?
if I remember correctly, I think it was at. I think I said it last time. Let's see. It's kinda, yeah, just very recently, like just past, like just before the start of the new year.
What I surmise from how it falls out that he probably hasn't been in the office at all this year.
Yeah, you kind of get that. You kind of get that vibe from the place.
Okay.
It's probably like his secretary is probably keeping the place clean.
Yeah, I'm trying to... Is his personal contact, and so let's see. What did we actually get the warrant for? I'm asking.
I don't remember currently, so it's I hope
We
you have.
suspected that there was information pertaining to the Underwood case that was being withheld from us.
Okay, I was just making sure before I head off down the wrong rabbit hole.
Oh, please go down the wrong rabbit hole.
Well, that was the first 5 or 6 games.
We don't want another Quarrels.
I can do that.
No! We're never gonna solve this murder.
That wasn't really going down the wrong rabbit hole. That was more like standing just out in front of the rabbit hole and like trying to decide whether or not you're going to go into it.
Stand by our decision.
I mean, you got good results, so. But yes,
Yeah, right. I'm just. So is there anything pertaining to Underwood in the filing cabinets in the drawers that's first pass anything on Underwood?
The only thing you find with her, like about her specifically in like one of the filing cabinets is he has the applications for every like employee. So he has his files on every employee, like their application and stuff like that. And you find that, which is not incredibly interesting to look at. It's just a list, like, because she was offered a job there, if I remember correctly. So she...
Sure. Do I find anything on this case? Probably not, because it occurred after he left. But do I? Do I find anything on the Elizabeth Short murder?
No, nothing in here.
Okay. Do I find anything on the secretary?
Do
I find notes about like them having some tryst in the background, or God, I want to kill this bitch? Anything like his personal musings on maybe not her but everyone else? Do I find his diary?
No. You do find, however, some information about her. You find her, like, the record when she was hired, which she's been working there for like 15 years now, so she's been there for a while.
Okay.
And has been working with him at least for 15 years.
Yep.
And they seem to have a good relationship, from what you can gather of like some of the files you go through and some of the notes. She obviously does a good job as his assistant. And
okay.
You don't get a feeling that anything shady is going on between them. And you don't think they're having sex.
They're just doing everything else. They're just not having sex.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Any other? Do I find anything on any shady dealings with Quarrels?
Um.
Because I'm assuming if this relationship is crooked as fuck, it's been going on for a while.
You do find that he has like, this guy's had some connection with Horals for, like, a while. He also has connection to City Hall and everything. This dude's a pretty big guy. And when you're looking over this, you kind of get the feeling that if he was here, you probably wouldn't have gotten this warrant through.
Okay. When you say there's a long connection, is there more intimate details about stories that they've snuffed on other people's behalf? Is there a safe in the corner with all the people they've paid off to not... Too soon?
I meant, you said that, but I imagine, like, all the people that they've paid off are shoved into the safe.
But you're gonna have to see if you find something hidden away. Then, are you gonna try to look for a safe, or like?
Yeah, sure. I'll look for a safe.
Roll spot hidden, my dude.
I'll take that. That's a hard success.
Sweet. So, you do find a safe in there. It is behind a bookcase that is pretty easy to move actually. It's like it's on wheels. It's kind of on like it's on hinges and with wheels. The only thing you kind of need to do before is kind of push it.
Pull a book out a little bit.
Yeah, basically, it kind of works like a lever. It's kind of like there is a part of which you pull out, and you kind of pull it open, and you see a safe there.
Pull open the safe?
No, you pull open
the safe isn't locked.
There is a safe on the wall. You bastard. There's a safe on the wall. It's and it's closed. Well, yes, she probably does know the code, Lisa.
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
So is the safe unlocked?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I go get the secretary and ask her to open the safe.
She kind of
Did she acquiesce and open the safe?
She kind of looks at you and says, "I don't know the code."
Okay. I call into the police station and say, "Can you get me a locksmith out here to break it?"
All right. So you call the station, and sure enough, they tell you that they're gonna send a locksmith soon enough.
Thank you.
That's gonna take a while for that locksmith to arrive, but
I have a warrant that safe is opening.
Okay, I'm gonna write down here, locksmith is on the way.
And then I kick her back out of the office while we keep working.
Do you want to try to open it?
Actually, I don't even let her back in. I poke my head out and go, Can you open the safe?" She says, "I don't know." I say, "Okay," and I close the door in her face.
You didn't even check to see if she was lying.
Okay.
Do you want to attempt to open it while you wait, or?
I have a locksmith on the way. I have no reason to fuck with it.
Mm. So while you are doing
I
that,
checked if it was unlocked. It wasn't. It was locked. I probably would have looked around the room quickly for a code, but even then, proper procedure would have been to get the locksmith to open it.
yeah. So while you two are doing this, Lisa, Richard, and Jensen are with the doctor, and you're getting blood tests.
Yep.
So you guys are, the doctor's kind of finished pulling pulling some blood from you, and he kind of tells you just to kind of rest a little bit in the room before he's gonna get it tested, and he'll know. He'll let you know as soon as he knows if there's some funny business going on. But But yeah, you kind of get the idea. You kind of get the feeling that from him that at least when he was talking to Lisa that he wasn't kind of convinced that you guys were under any effects. What's up, my bird? God, he was just like needed to try to fly there. You think he gave you like a questionable look the entire time? You guys were
Intimidate.
What?
Ah! God! Intimidate! He gave you a weird look. Intimidate. Oh, okay. I mean, he's scared of you.
Intimidate.
I mean,
What is my intimidate?
oh, it's your persuasion, basically. But you get a bonus because you're an awkward person.
Lisa, like she can sense that he doesn't really like believe her, and she just gives him this look, this withering, tired, angry look. Like,
Yeah.
you think that I care what you think? She doesn't say this, but her look
Yeah.
does.
And it's because of this that he kind of messes up a few times when he's trying to draw blood from you. He's like kind of afraid of you.
He pokes me in the arm like in the wrong spot, and then has to readjust it.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't care. She's
And,
she's had a hard day.
And when she after he leaves, you kind of settle down for a moment until Jensen goes and says, so what the hell just happened in that apartment?"
Something, I don't know. God.
Because that was all a hallucination. That was one hell of a hallucination.
Well, what else? What else? I mean, what else is it gonna be? Am I supposed to believe there was a fucking desert in the fucking apartment, and just half of the apartment just fucking disappeared? I don't know.
There was a desert in the apartment? What?
And I opened the window and I turned around and it was a fucking desert.
Now that's some crazy shit. I mean, we saw some weird shit, but nothing on that scale.
When it was gone, and I went back to
I mean,
where
I'm
the
not-
door was, and there was no door there.
I'm not even sure what the hell we saw. What about you, Richard? How are you feeling? Any better? Is your brain back to normal?
And Richard just kind of has his face in his hand, like just kind of leaning against the wall, or on the table. However, are we on a table right now, or how's it?
There is a table to sit on, so you can like if you want to sit on it, you can. But this is kind of like one of those old-fashioned like doctor's offices, like checkup room. So.
Oh, well, then he'll just be sitting in a chair and just kind of, he'll have his head kind of leaned against the wall, like forehead cooling kind of thing, and just lean. And he just kind of opens his eye, looks over at Jensen, gives a small shrug, and then kind of turns back away.
Well, anything, I hope, if anything, that was. I hope that was a hallucination, because dang, I do not want to see that again.
Did you like? But I was gone. Like I was gone. What did you see in the apartment? Because I saw a desert.
Well, according to Richard, something went through him. The floor tried to grab us.
Wait, something went through him?
Yeah.
Like through him? Through? Like what? And she turns to Richard. What? Like wind? What?
Shadow.
What did the shadow look like? Where were you when the shadow? But you weren't there. You weren't. I walked straight to the door, and neither of you were there. So what? Bump into you. What did the shadow look like?
Person.
Did you move when I did the thing? Did you move?
You were gone.
You were just standing there. I would have hit you.
We didn't see you in the room.
I walked to the door, and it was a hallucination.
We didn't see you
Hit
go
you.
down the hallway. We were in the hallway when that happened. To be fair, I didn't see it myself. I was looking at the door.
I looked like a person.
You sure do look like a person.
Like a person. She's talking to Richard.
Shadow person. Walked towards us. You were gone. He's
Like-
just. He's not very responsive at the moment.
Like she is like thinking, she can't compute, but in her her logical mind, she walked to the door, but they say they didn't move, but she would have bumped into them because even in hallucinations, you can still feel shit.
Mm-hmm.
So she's just like compute. These two things are both make sense.
Hell, I mean, we woke up outside. We might as well have been knocked out down there. The whole apartment might be a hazard.
You weren't. You pulled me through a window. We didn't knock out, but
I'm not even sure if I believe what happened there.
darkness. Like the desert was gone, and it was dark, and you pulled me through when. And Lisa's just gradually growing more less hallucination and more like what the fuck. Oh God, maybe I don't know, because now she believes that she was the shadow.
Look, whatever fucking happened in there, we clearly do not have a full grasp of whatever happened in there, and whether or not we actually went into that house or not.
Into a ghost. I was a ghost.
Hey, whether or not this was a hallucination, a shared dream, whatever the fuck those mediums call it.
Poking at the both of them. Like, he took my blood. I can feel you. I'm solid. Like, having a little bit of a 35 is like right before you hit below 35 is right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So she's at 37. So she's having a bit of a thing. It was a hallucination. That's what happened. By the way, because I was in a desert. Maybe I wasn't. Maybe I just thought I was walking in the sand. That wasn't. It was just the floor.
I don't know what to tell you, Bruno, but
Maybe
I sure
we should
hope
go talk
hope you're right.
to Mackenzie about quartering off the apartment.
Oh,
Yes.
Detective, we probably do not want to tell Mackenzie what happened there. Maybe tell him to quarantine. It may be a hazard to the health of people. It may be a health hazard. But we sure as hell, if we want to keep our jobs, we sure as hell will not tell him what we saw there.
Our boss, we have to.
No, Bruno. some things need to stay out of the books, and I, for one, want to keep my job. I'm all for doing things by the book, but personally, I like to forget this chapter.
And I wasn't present when I reviewed the guy who said Jean and Leslie were sort of in a separate event when they interviewed the guy who had the supernatural occurrence, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. You have no idea that
just,
happened.
Maybe we can. They have psychics on file at the police station, like, and they said occult shit before the short case. They said it was an occult. It was a cult murder. Maybe we should go over what they thought first.
They said it had evidence of that it followed procedures, like how many of the occult sacrificial murders happen.
Anyway, she wants to go back to the police station. It's just like, hey, that's her base. That's basically her happy place. She wants to go back to her happy place.
All right. The only other people we know have been in that area are Leslie and Jean, and they sure as hell didn't talk a lot about that place. So my suggestion is that we try to meet up with them at the motel.
Fine.
And try to get some facts straight.
At the very least, she calls the police station to see, if they've checked in where they said they were going. I know it's confusing because of the timeline, but she wouldn't just she would double check to make sure where they were before she went anywhere.
So, to make that simple, they will tell you where they are, where they were last time they contacted them, which currently in the timeline is at the Herald Express. So if that changes, you will know.
Gives a message if they do not go there, and says, we should. Do you want to go to the other hospital, Richard? Because I go home. We should go to the motel and go to the whiteboard and pick up the files and reevaluate the I don't know.
Bruno, you do what you gotta do. I'm gonna go back to the motel and take a nap.
In that case, what she wants to do is go to the police station and get all of the relevant, anything that she needs to work up, more things on the whiteboard in their motel room.
So,
new information that they've gotten.
So what basically happens is that you tell the doctor to contact, to leave a message for you guys at the police station if he finds anything. And I'm gonna write here: doctor will contact police station when he knows if you are drugged or not.
And I tell him, if you get the results at 3 o'clock in the morning, or when at a time when that's beyond sort of normal hours, just I call the number in the file for my home address. Yeah. I don't care what time it is or what's open. I want to know now.
But yeah, what basically happens is at this point you will be you head out to you head out of the hospital and make your way to the car. You kind of, with everything that you've been kind of discovering as you're talking, we're talking about this, you don't feel too great about being alone, so you kind of stick.
Yeah, she's real twitchy.
Yeah, so you stick together, and when you're going in to get the stuff in the station, it's a doozy. But we will, because we're doing a short one this time. We are gonna fade around this point here. So this will be the ending of this episode. It's a short one, and next time, if things go as planned, the team should reconvene at hopefully either the police station or the motel. So yeah, Lisa's going a little bit insane now.
Wanted her to have, like, I know you're not supposed to have, like, episodes until under 35, but I really wanted her, because she's such a staunch believer in facts and logic and not magic, to have, like, the idea that she had some sort of experience that doesn't make sense, just really shake her.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to add that for just yourself as a role-playing aspect, because it's totally up to you if you want to do it, and I just like it when you do.
Her nerves from, like, being in an explosion, then being blown up herself, then, like, just all of the things that have been happening, she has not gotten, you know.
Yeah, she's
having a good time.
The whole team isn't having a great time, technically seen. You've been going through a lot of rough stuff. I think just Jean and Leslie are happy to be on, like, doing something that's not scary. Which, by the way, where are they? Oh, they muted themselves. Okay, but next, in the next 2 weeks, Jean and Leslie, or rather, Michael and Brienne won't be here. So, instead, me, Zia, and Kellen are gonna do kind of a one-shot or like a mini-series thing. And we'll do something else during the time where Michael and Brienne won't be here. So there's stuff gonna be, even though there won't be an Unsolved next week, there will be something else. So yay!
Sorry.
That's fine.
We're cool with
I
it.
won't take vacation anymore. Jeez.
It's
I hope
cool.
you guys get to have a really good time.
Thanks.
But yeah, sadly we could only do a short episode this time. It was a busy day for all of us, kind of. But I want to thank everyone for watching. This is a very short episode, in both post talk and just episode in general. But I hope to see you guys in the next episode, where we will hopefully tackle. Where the team will hopefully tackle the questions of the short apartment, or whether that will just kind of fade into the recesses of their mind as they try to forget it. But I want to thank Michael, or as I like to call him, Gene Franklins, for joining us this time around. Thank you. Thank you for being a great player, and I want to thank Michael. No, not Michael. I just said Michael. Fuck you
already.
I want to thank you again, Michael. Thanks. I want to thank Brienne, or Leslie Hart.
Thank you, and I'm still not Godpool.
Yeah. You better not. Then I want to thank Zia, who is our lovely Lisa. Who is our lovely
A Godpool too.
My brain is not functioning today. My brain is farting so hard. And I want to thank Kellen, or as I like to call him, the unlucky one. But he also has the name Richard Barton.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. When he's not going insane, he's a pretty suave guy. But, just a kind of, a last kind of story to say just before we cut. As you know, I went to Gen Con. I was running a game there. I kind of want to have this as an added thing just for shits and giggles. So, I made 2 characters based off this group. I had like a lot of characters, but I kind of like whittled it down after with the best ideas. And I had a character named Gene Franklins, who was a grumpy wizard, who's
Illusion wizard?
he was a grumpy wizard in the costume and in the costume party he arrived in the kind of typical wizard outfit with the kind of wizard hat without the brim to it, just like the kind of Mickey Mouse wizard hat with the stars and moon on it, and he was wearing a cloak in the same colors, just blue with stars and moons on it, and he wasn't wearing anything underneath the cloak except for socks and underwear. And his socks were magically enchanted, and a big part of the plot was that there was someone, the main villain of it, was stealing things and trying to frame everyone else for it. And Gene had his socks stolen, and he punched another wizard in the face because he had the socks. It was pretty great. I'll tell you. I'll have to tell you the story like in better detail later. And the second one was Zia. I had you. You were a crazy raccoon.
Me or Lisa?
You.
I was a.
You were a crazy raccoon oracle lady. And every time,
That's right.
every time somebody looked at you, you had one more raccoon.
Sounds about right.
Like, the first time when the best part was there was a guy that was a werewolf, and he looked at you, and he was, like, talking to you, and he was like, this lady's fucking crazy. And then he looked back, and you had 2 raccoons, and he was like, God dang it! Where the hell did that one come from? And, you had your raccoon stolen, and it was planted on the werewolf, and the werewolf was just, like, minding his own business, and then he would, like... And he was gonna look over his shoulder, and he just saw a raccoon on his shoulder, and he just panicked and was like, "What the shit?" And then, like, seconds later, after like he'd like gone and went to talk to the other guys, and somebody pointed out that he had now 2 raccoons on his shoulder, and it ended up with you finding him, seeing him with the raccoons, going just like cursing him to death for stealing your raccoons, and they managed to take the curse off of him by kind of sacrificing someone else. But, you know, that's a minor detail. It was a great...
Just kind of sacrificing. How do you kind of sacrifice somebody?
You know, it was... the wizard said, okay, I can try to save you, but there's a catch. Okay. I can do if I put it onto someone else, it's easier. If I just try to dispel it off you, it might jump on me. It was just like, oh, so someone's gonna get fucked either way. Thankfully, they made it jump.
Happy.
They made the curse jump over to a mindless, to one of the mindless servants. So. But yeah, you were a crazy like raccoon lady, and Gene was a grumpy as fuck wizard.
So business as usual.
who I
Got
am.
it.
Yes.
Group. It's just I kind of am the crazy raccoon lady.
Yes, you are. That's why I made you a crazy raccoon lady. It was great. I like, okay, how I acted Gene was like, "The hell did you do with my socks, you bastard?" And I swore in every sentence. I made it a point of swear. If I said something with him, it had to begin or end with a swear. I made everyone eccentric as fuck. And if I remember correctly, I made Yusia into like a... Oh wait, there was a needle in my pants, and I don't know how long that's been there. That was scary.
It's dangerous.
Yeah. No, you were like, "Look at my raccoons, my beautiful raccoons," and you like. I think the moment that freaked everyone out the most was when after she cursed the werewolf and started walking away, and the raccoon jumped on to go to her. They saw raccoons come from all over the room into one raccoon that climbed on and was hanging off your belt.
Okay, I would just like to clarify for anyone listening that raccoon lady, that Godpool has made me. I live in a very wildernessy area, and raccoon babies regularly show up to my house, and I feed them cat food. Okay.
See you later. See you later, Kellen. I just want to say bye to Kellen before he left.
Yeah. Not that crazy. They do not live in my home with me. I do not pet them. They do not climb onto my clothes.
No, I just deliberately made everyone into like a very exaggerated version because the only normal guy in the room was the evil guy. Everyone was over the top crazy in how they acted. They were very eccentric, and then there was the mayor who was normal. And he was the evil guy. It was so funny because nobody suspected him at all because he was the normal guy there, so he was the only one that didn't stand out, and that was kind of the point. It was going to be either really easy for them to figure out who the main villain was, or it was going to be really hard, and it was really hard for them. But yes, you were like, I will predict your, like, I will look at your predictions and shit. And often you didn't really acknowledge the raccoons hanging from your body, but, you know, it was funny. It freaked out the players, and it was great.
And when this ends up going up, you should include this picture somewhere.
Oh, I'll include it just now. I'll add it here as a kind of last thing
the
before we
crazy
end.
raccoon lady.
Yes.
Too terrible. Here's another.
Yeah, okay. That's a better one. Open this image. Okay, yeah. I can show it like this. Wait, no, that's... Yeah, raccoons! They are seen where the chat is normally. Yeah, that's why she's the crazy raccoon lady.
Those are the babies, by the way. They've gotten real big.
Oh, dang.
And the size of like big cats.
But yeah, I want to thank everyone that decided to watch the episode. It was a short one. It was fun to see a little bit of the aftermath of everything that happened. But sadly, because we were kind of short on time, we didn't have time to kind of delve properly into things. And we're gonna mend that next time on Unsolved. But until then, I'm Godpool. This is my crew, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye bye.